Bonjour, we will now start with lesson 2. Comptons ensemble. In this particular chapter, we will learn the French alphabets, the various accents, and we will learn the counting and what are subject pronouns. So these are the topics that we will be covering in lesson 2. So the ABCD in French, it's exactly the same as English, A to Z. There are 26 alphabets. However, the vowels are slightly different. So A, E, I, O, U, which are your English vowels, are there also in French. So in French, your vowels are A, E, I, O, U, and there's one additional which is H. H is treated as a vowel in French. It is called the silent H. You never pronounce H in French. What do I mean by this? We will see it in some time. Let us learn how to pronounce the ABCD in French. This will help us in pronouncing the words better. So A is A, B is Be, C is Se, D is De, E is A, F is F, G is J, H is Ash, I is E, J is G, K is Ka, L is L, M is M, N is N, O is O, P is Pe, Q is Q, R is R, S is Se, T is Te, U is U, V is Ve, W is W, X is X, Y is Y, and Z is Z. So please learn. They have given you how to pronounce this ABCD in the textbook as well. They have written it next to the alphabet. Now you would have noticed certain accents while you were memorizing the words in lesson 1 and lesson 0. You would have noticed there are certain accents, there are certain marks. You would have noticed when you are memorizing your vocabulary that there are a few of these marks on a lot of words. Now what are these marks? These are the different accents in French and they do play a role. So please, whenever you memorize a spelling, you have to memorize it along with these accents. Now what do these accents mean? For example, this particular accent is called the aigu accent. It comes only on the English vowel E. It doesn't mean it comes on all the E's. It's part of the spelling. I will teach you how to memorize it. So for example, let's take école. École means school. So there's an accent on this particular E. It's not there on this E. Why? There is no logic. You have to, it's part of the spelling and you have to memorize it accordingly. So this would be E aigu, C-O-L-E. You will memorize it like this. E aigu, C-O-L-E. Another word, vélo, which means a bicycle. So V-E aigu, L-O. V-E aigu, L-O. So this is how you memorize it. The next accent is grave. It can come either on A, E or U. A, E or U. So let's take for example mère, which means mother. So how will you memorize this spelling? M-E grave R-E. M-E grave R-E. Next word is U, which means where. So how will you memorize the spelling? O-U grave. O-U grave. Now there is one more word in French which is just OU without the accent. This means or in English. So remember, if you see just the difference of the accent and the meaning changes completely. So whenever you memorize it, please memorize it along with the accent. So OU, grav is where, and just OU is or. The next accent is circumflex. This is called the circumflex. It can come on any of the English vowels, A, E, I, O, U. It can come on any of these English vowels. So for example, age, which means age. So you will memorize it as A circumflex G, E. A circumflex G, E. Another one, if we take hotel. So as I had mentioned earlier, H is always silent in French. You never pronounce it. So in English we say hotel, but in French you will say hotel. So this will be H-O circumflex T-E-L. H-O circumflex T-E-L. The next accent that we will learn is this. It's called sedi. This comes only under C. It's called C sedi. So, for example, garçon. This means a boy in French. So, garçon, G-A-R-C-C-E-O-N. This is how you memorize it, and this only and only comes with C. G-A-R-C-C-E-O-N. French, for example, is français, is F-R-A-N-C-C-E-A-I-S. F-R-A-N-C-C-E-A-I-S. So C-C-E, it only and only comes with C. The last accent is trema. It can come on I, E or U, on any of these. I, E or U. So for example, Noel, which means Christmas. So how will you memorize the spelling? N-O-E trema L. N-O-E trema L. Another word, May, which means corn. The corn that we eat, American corn. May, it means corn. Now there's one more word in French which is M-A-I-S without the accent. This means but. So remember, just the difference of an accent and the meaning changes completely. This is corn, M-A-I trema S, and this is M-A-I-S may, which means but. We will now learn les pronoms sujets, which means the subject pronouns. What is a pronoun? A pronoun is something that replaces a noun. Same meaning as English. So for example, if I say Riddhi is a good girl, and if I have to replace Riddhi with a pronoun, I will say she is a good girl. If I say Sohail is a good boy, and if I have to replace Sohail with a pronoun, I will say he is a good boy. My parents go to the cinema. If I have to replace my parents, I will say they go to the cinema. So these are your pronouns. Now let us learn the subject pronouns in French. Je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle. Je means I, tu is you. So this is basically the tu of Hindi. Il is he, elle is she. Nu means we, vu is also you, but this is the aap of Hindi. Il is they, elle is they. The pronunciation is not ils and els, it is same as this, il and el. So please don't pronounce it as ils and els, il and el. This is they, this is they. I'll repeat, je is I, tu is you, il is he, elle is she, nu is we, vu is you, il is they, elle is they. Now in which instance will you use this il and in which instance will you use el? So let's say Amir and Sohail go to the cinema. Two boys, replace Amir and Sohail with a pronoun. You will say they go to the cinema. So you will use ILS. Let's say Sita and Geeta go to the cinema. Two girls, Sita and Geeta, they go to the cinema. You will use ELLES. So this is your masculine plural and this is your feminine plural. Now what happens in case of mixed gender? Let's say Amir and Geeta go to the cinema. One boy, one girl. Now which pronoun will you use? In case of mixed gender, always use the masculine plural. So there could be 100 girls and one boy. Doesn't matter, it is still mixed gender. You will use ILS. There could be 100 boys, one girl, mixed gender, ILS. So remember, in case of mixed gender, you will always use masculine plural, which is ILS. So these are your subject pronouns. I, you, he, she, we, you, they. So for example, I want to say my family and I go to the restaurant. Now what will I replace my family and I with in English? We. So similarly, I'll replace it with nous. In the textbook, they've given you je or j apostrophe. So we will learn this when we are learning the verbs. So in case of the verb, the conjugation of the verb starts with a vowel, we make it j apostrophe, but it is essentially je. And il and l, let's say if you are talking about an object, the book is fat. You want to replace the book with a pronoun, you will say it. So in French, the book is un livre. It's masculine, you will say il. So il can also translate into it. Besides he and she, this is he/it, this is she/it. So both of this can mean it also. So like I said, all the nouns in French have a gender, masculine, feminine. So if it's a feminine object or a noun that you are replacing, you will use this. If it's a masculine noun that you are replacing, you will use il. We will now learn the numbers in French. So in this chapter, we will learn only till 20, 0 to 20, les nombres. So you can repeat after me. 0 is zéro, 1 is a, 2 is de, 3 is trois, 4 is quatre, 5 is cinq, 6 is six, 7 is sept, 8 is huit, 9 is neuf, 10 is dix, 11 is onze, 12 is douze, 13 is treize, 14 is quatorze, 15 is quinze, 16 is seize, 17 is 17, 18 is 18, 19 is 19 and 20 is 1. So if you noticed, for 17, 18 and 19, it is 17, 18 and 19, which is essentially 10 plus 7, 10 plus 8 and 10 plus 9. It's not English 17, 18, 19, there are separate words. It's 10 plus 7, 10 plus 8, 10 plus 9. So 17, 18, 19 is 17, 18 and 19. This counting, you have to memorize it along with the correct spellings. Now on page 36, they've given you this exercise wherein you have to complete with the subject pronouns. So we can just try doing this. So see, my father and me, what will you replace it in English? We. So your subject pronoun would be nous. My sister and my mother. Again, if you're part of that thing, what will you replace it in English with? We. So again, nous. I, je. My father, what will you replace it in English with? He. It is a masculine noun, so you will use il. My father and mother, mixed gender, two people, what will you replace it in English with? They. But since it is mixed gender, in French you will use ILS. My friend. Now we don't know whether this friend is masculine or feminine. So whether you write ill or L, which is IL or ELLE, both options are correct. My sister. She. We know this is obviously feminine. It's a girl that you're talking about. So you will replace it with L. ELLE. So this finishes our lesson 2. Thank you.